and yielded 20.5 tons per hectare. Super had a uniform tuber size and gave us up to 19 tons per hectare. Average yield across the variety was 19.7 tons per hectare, showing that these varieties are actually very nice when you come to yam production and getting more yam. Thank you. I think that's all for our annual reports.
Okay, thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you for the annual report. And Dr. Marianne Maza, thank you very much for our Maza variety of yam. Yeah, it is good. You know, as a scientist, sometimes we get too humble. You need to immortalize yourself. If they did the work, then they deserve something that will be remembered after them. So now please go on to your proposals.
Thank you so much now. Our proposal for 2026. Next slide. Next slide, please. The first proposal is threat association analysis to identify markers linked with some tuber quality traits and days to maturity among Nrcri core yam germplasm. The major objectives here is to identify markers linked to key tuber quality traits such as tuber shape, tuber flesh color, and days to maturity in Nrcri yam germplasm, and to validate these markers and determine applicability in marker-assisted selection. Our next proposal is genotyping of Nrcri yam seedling progenits to development training population for genomic selection. The major objective is to genotype a population of 200 yam seedling progenies using already identified markers linked with tuber yield, yam mosaic virus, tuber browning index, and dry matter content. Next slide. The third proposal is identification of major determinants of yam tuber yield using part coefficient analysis among yield component traits. And the major objective is to evaluate the phenotypic variability among yam genotype for yield and yield-related traits. The fourth one is production of 3 hectares of breeder seed of white yam. Here we want to intentionally multiply our white yams because the demand for white yam is really high. So as we give them out almost on a yearly basis, they continue to shrink. So the major objective is to establish 3 hectares of breeder seed yam field to produce disease-free and high-quality seed of this D. rotundata variety, and to strengthen the yam seed system by increasing availability of clean planting materials. Next. Next slide. The fifth proposal is dry season yam production in sacks using different substrate combination under drip irrigation system to evaluate the effect of different substrate combination and optimal set size on the growth and yield of yam under dry season condition. Next is varietal response of white yam to leaf bud cutting technique. The major objective is to assess the establishment rates of some white yam variety propagated through leaf bud cutting, to evaluate yield from leaf bud cutting across all our varieties, and to identify the varieties most suitable for large-scale production. Next. Next slide. Next slide. Another one is climate smart post-harvest technologies for maintaining seed yam quality using biodegradable coating. Objective is to formulate biodegradable edible coating materials suitable for seed yam storage, to evaluate the effect of coating on wet loss, sprouting behavior, and dormancy duration, and to evaluation of non-chemical methods to reduce sprouting in way yam during exports. The major objectives: to screen standard and modify export cartons for sprouting reduction during export simulation, and to determine the effect of non-chemical oils, especially palm oil, on tuber sprouting. Next slide. The ninth proposal is effect of processing methods on selected yam-based snacks, nutrients, using released yam varieties in Umudike. The major objectives: to determine the proximate composition of selected yam-based snacks processed using different methods, and to identify the processing method that best preserves the nutrient content of it. The next proposal is promoting yam value addition and diversification for enhanced food security. Objectives: 1, to identify and evaluate yam-based value addition with high domestic and export potential, and to develop cost-effective processing technology suitable for smallholder farmers, SMEs, and other end users. Next proposal is enhancing youth capacity through the adoption of improved yam varieties for sustainable agricultural development in Ebonyi State, Nigeria. The objectives are to assess the level of awareness and knowledge of improved yam varieties among the youths, and to provide technical training on improved yam production practices. And finally is development of a low-cost solar-powered yam storage ventilation system. The major objective is to design a solar-powered yam storage system and to evaluate the performance of the solar environment, and finally to determine the quality and quantity of air changes per hour within the system. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maza, for a presentation. Even in spite of the technical hitches, I'm sure we all agree she pulled it off brilliantly. Please, let's give her another round of applause. So it's time for questions. And in spite of that hitch, she only spent 1 minute above the allotted time. Yes. So we'll just take few questions in the next 5 minutes. Oh, so many hands up, and I can see all the veterans on the YAM program raising their hands. So we start with Dr. Ano, then we go to Dr. Ikogu, and then we go on to you, sir. Please remind me your name, sir. Yes. Professor Jonah, yes. Thank you, sir. And then we'll come to Dr. Asomoga. So we have 4 hands up. And please, let's make it brief. We have just 5 minutes to do this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a very good presentation. My own is a quick one. Evaluation of seed yam production in bags. You expressed the yield in tons per hectare. How? Then the second one on the proposal, effect of processing methods. I should think it belongs to PDP program and not YAM program. Thank you.
Okay. Proposal number 11. Proposal number 11, enhancing use in CDI production. Why is it limited to Ebonyi State? Since you are a national program. Now again, your proposal number 4, where you are going to grow 3 hectares, Should it belong to your program or production? Good. Your annual reports, early maturing of Maza Maza, how do you define early maturing, and how many months does it take? Now, Umudike, Nigeria is the world's largest producer of yam and consumer, of course, but Ghana is the largest exporter. What are you doing about regaining that export potential? Let it come to Nigeria. What are you doing about it?
Thank you, sir. Prof. Chilaka. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Kogu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to congratulate my team for the presentation. Just 2 comments or 3 comments on the yam in the bag. It's unfortunate that we did it close to 1 meter length of tuber. Is that a function of size of bag or of variety or what? We need that information so that people will be guided properly while they are selecting what to plant. Thank you.
Dr. Asomora. Dr. Asomora, then we'll go on to Dr. Mrs. Anedu. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mazda. And I want to congratulate you on the release of the new varieties. Let me ask, what informed that name, Maza Maza? That's number 1. Number 2, what happened to the last released varieties? Do you have entrepreneurs or foundation seed producers, maybe through Umudike Seed, to multiply these varieties so that we can see them? Some of us are itching to access them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Last, we take Dr. Anedu. Sorry, please, I know that questions are giving rise to questions, but we have just 5 minutes to do this.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more hands up. Sorry, Ma, before you continue, I don't know, it's as if only this side of the hall is participating in all the discussions.
Yes,
we're not
that's
getting
where the retired directors
Okay, yeah, I know, but then apart from the retired directors,
they've done their own
there may be
internal
all right. Okay, go ahead, Ma.
Thank you very much. Dr. Maza was my student in the College of Agriculture, so I'm happy for her presentation. That's credit to me as well, because I contributed to what she is today. But what I want to ask, you started this fine method of propagation. My sister from IIT asked the question in the morning, and nobody attended to the question. Now you are talking about internode use. What has happened to that fine method of propagation of yam seedling? So tell us what you have done with your work, your previous work, the stage where it is presently, and what the farmers are doing with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. And the last 2 questions. The last 2 questions, please. Then and then you can respond quickly to them. The hands are up here.
Yeah, well done. Thank you for the presentation. I'm a consultant. And,
tell us your name, sir.
My name is Obiora Obala. I'm a consultant to the board chairman. Most research institutes, the key challenges they have is about commercializing R&Ds, into profit making. And most challenging, the way the country is going now, I think that most research institutes should be looking deeper into IGR, how to generate internal generated revenues. So I have a suggestion. The presentation she made on the yam types and the yield the tonnage, the output, and everything is very, very encouraging. And Niger State has revolutionized agriculture. And Niger State is a basin. The Paiko Basin is a yam producing basin, which the governor has put up a very strategic and strategic agro processing to increase the output of yam production in that area. So my suggestion is that the institute can engage the Niger State and seek for partnership, because these are areas where you'll be looking at 300 tons above, over a farming period, and definitely such a partnership with your institute will definitely encourage the research processes here, because money and research go together. Thank you.
Last but not the least, we're taking the last question now, please.
Here, because
Dr. Wozo, please.
or you are associated with farmers. So I will say that great farmers,
Please, sir, speak into the mic, sir.
no farmer, no farmer, no food. No farmer, no food. Thank you very much. To come to my point, yesterday, Potato represented their work. I don't know, giving farmers, if I got it right, giving farmers the opportunity or asking farmers to raise TPS. I don't think that's what we decided on earlier here. The seed is a very tiny something that specialists have to extract from the berry and then raise that. I think the station will raise from the seed TPS, and then the small tubers collected from there can now be given to farmers. Let me also say this. Here, we produce a lot of things, ranging from the field to where? Women in agriculture. And these things are not seen anywhere in the hinterland. I come from a farming community. I've not seen any of our improved varieties that place. For me, I took what I brought here, that's orange-fleshed potato. I took some vines to the village. Come and see, almost every compound around me has that now. So we agree that extension system is broken. So what do? How do we disseminate our products? If you go to schools, like sweet potato, you go to schools, drop 2 vines per child, and they will plant that out. Even if you don't plant it, if you throw it out on the road, the following year, you come there and harvest. So what is wrong in giving the farmers the opportunity of planting these improved varieties? For me...
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please. For me, I would advise for further extension, we have said it here earlier, that the institute should establish an outpost in town where pamphlets and these other things are displayed for farmers to come there and see than coming here. And I wish that as we are living here now, you give every person moving out from here either a vine or a tuber to go home. That's one of the best ways of multiplying or distributing this. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Uzo. Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Maza, please respond quickly to the questions and then just acknowledge the suggestions. Yes.
Thank you so much for all your comments, all your questions. That shows I really communicated, and I'm really grateful for those questions. The first one is from Dr. Ano. He asks of the evaluation in bag technology, why is presented in tons per hectare. Yeah, the yield, conventionally, yam is presented in, the yield of yam is presented in tons per hectare. It gives you a wider knowledge of what you expect when you scale it out. When you carry an experiment on a small area of land, looking at it on a broader view, this is what you expect at the end of the year, at the end of the day. That is why we expressed it in tons per hectare. The next is, thank you so much. I will see you. Next is
she will see you after. Yes, she will see you afterward.
effect of processing method, that it should go to processing. That is noted. Professor Chinaka asks of enhancing youth. Why is limited to Ebonyi State? If there is fund, we will go across all the country. It's because of fund. Next is 3 hectares of seed yam. And the other one I capture is why the name Maza Maza, early, and what is early? When you say early maturity, what do I mean? The Maza Maza variety sinensis from 152 days to 179 days on the average across all the location. And that is the fastest so far we have derived. Maza Maza is a translation of quick, quick, or fast, fast. So I can say categorically there is a coincidence of name. Thank you so much. Another question is, what are you doing in regard to exports? That Ghana exports more yam than Nigeria, where we are the highest producers of yam in the world. Yeah, one of the varieties, the prime oval, is good for packaging. It's a way forward from where we are. We expect that that variety will go far, very far in terms of packaging and export. That is actually what necessitated that variety coming up. The next one from Dr. Ikog. Yam in bag, if soil plus rice husk, and what happens to poultry manure? Actually, those yams planted in bags were enhanced with poultry manure. They were enhanced with poultry manure. They were not just planted and left like that. And as we said, from the record, what we observe, the yield gets higher at a higher. We got the highest yield from 200 grams. The lowest yield was observed from those of 50 grams. So we expect as the higher you go in set size, the bigger you get to weigh yam. When you plant them whole seed yam of up to 300 grams, you get the big weigh yam for sale. Then Dr. Smola asks, okay, I've answered that. He asks of what happened to the last 2 release variety. The last 2 release variety have been pushed to our seed company, Umudike Seed, and some of our ad growers for yam. They are still multiplying it, and we will still give it out. From the program side, we are also multiplying it. Node vine. At a stage we get back to 2 node vine. Finally,